days are never ending, when the nights are feeling lonely, there's a place that I can go, where the birds are free to roam, in the sky, flying high, over fields of green, and where the stars inside the sky, we're the last ones shining bright, pushing through the storm tonight, we'll be burning on and on and on. We're the stars inside the sky, we're the last ones shining bright, pushing through the storm tonight, we'll be burning on and on and on.
Hello Leo, this is Inspire 2016 with your weekly tarot reading for the week commencing the 14th of December until the 21st of December 2020. The first card for you is representing, how do you feel about yourself? Your card is the Ace of Swords. This is a period of great insight and mental clarity. It signifies a breakthrough or an aha moment where suddenly conscious understanding and mental reasoning reach their peak, and achievement of goals suddenly becomes a lot easier. You have a new understanding of some issue that has been of concern, or, in a broader sense, a new worldview, especially in terms of your love and work relationship. This is a perfect time to clear away the fog that has kept you from seeing the inner truth, so that you can now cut to the heart of the matter. This is also a good time to act, and if you set your mind to accomplishing your goals, you can achieve anything you desire. The Ace of Swords highlights a new idea, inspiration, original thinking and creative vision. It represents a point at which you have a new way of thinking and the energy to go with it. You are excited to pursue new opportunities that draw upon your creative and mental abilities. The Ace of Swords also encourages you to seek out the truth of the matter and to find justice. You may be championing a cause or standing up for your rights or the rights of others. Thus sometimes, the Ace of Swords can suggest that you are prepared for battle. You have great clarity on a situation and can now argue your case with the view to come out victorious. You may have a new idea for which you are ready to fight, or you may be all fired up on an issue that you are particularly passionate about, such as human rights, the environment or your personal beliefs. This card invites you to use mental force and to use your intellect and critical reasoning. If faced with a challenging situation, you need to be ready for battle and be prepared to find the strength to overcome these challenges. The second card for you is representing, what do you want most right now? Your card is the Seven of Swords. What you want most right now is doing something in secret, hoping that you are safe and undiscovered. Something goes awry and your secret is revealed to your embarrassment. This card therefore urges caution when attempting to use cunning or deception to gain an advantage over someone or something else. There is no question that there are times in life when it is necessary to act shrewdly or do something in secret. Perhaps you had to think on your feet and act in a way that was not exactly all above board. Perhaps you had to go behind other people's backs in order to manifest your desires. Perhaps you felt like you needed to cheat or take the easy way out. If acting shrewdly is something you must do, it is essential that you do this with a clear conscience and you are fully aware of the potential consequences of your actions. Taking the easy path is not always the best path, and sometimes you just have to exert a decent amount of effort to achieve what you want. You may be tempted to sneak away from a particular situation that is not working for you anymore, rather than dealing with it head-on. As you do not feel ready to deal with the issues, you are aiming for a solution where you can just escape and not have to worry about it all. Are you trying to run away from commitment, responsibility, hard work or love? You may be procrastinating, letting problems slip and become worse because you do not want to deal with them. Sometimes you just have to face what has to be faced. So, the question is this realistic? Will this escape really accomplish what you want to and need to accomplish? Will it address the fundamental issues at hand here? The likely answer is no, and it may simply be an easy way out for now. On the flip side, you also need to be very cautious and wary so that you do not become a victim of someone else's deception, betrayal, cheating and false motives. You may trust someone who then turns out to be running their own agenda, leaving you high and dry. You need to be very careful of who you trust over these coming months, as you are at risk of being taken advantage of. Look out for any sneaky behavior and trust your gut instincts about when something does not feel right or is too good to be true. Sometimes, the Seven of Swords indicates a desire to go it alone. You want to discover, investigate and solve every problem using only your own wits and resources. You may believe that you have a better chance at success if you act on your own accord, ignoring the advice or inputs of others. This approach is useful when you need to bypass an ineffectual group or assert your independence, but it can also have its limitations. You may end up feeling isolated and excluded, missing that great feeling of collaboration and synergy gained when you work with others. If you feel inclined to act alone, be sure this isolation will really work for you. The third card for you is representing your fears. Your card is the Two of Wands. You may be afraid to step out into unknown territories, despite the huge growth potential, instead preferring to stay with what is familiar to you. The trouble is your growth is currently being stunted in your present environment and your world has become too small for you. It is time to bring your attention back to your original goal and understand the beneficial impact of taking a risk and stepping out into the bigger world around you. You need to start organizing your long-term goals and prioritizing what is important to you and what you really want to achieve. At the moment, it may seem that you want so many things but you have not thought these through enough to make them a reality. Start at the beginning again and meditate on what is important to you and what motivates and drives you. Look at where your passions are, and then start planning how you will achieve these goals. You have overlooked some important details related to your plan for the future. You may have been moving full steam ahead but have recently hit a roadblock due to lack of planning. You may also be overconfident about your success, overlooking the things that matter most. Or, you may be losing your passion associated with your goal and are becoming easily bored and demotivated. It is essential that you reignite that passion, or start again with something you feel more inspired about. The fourth card for you is representing what is going for you. Your card is the Eight of Cups. It is time to ask yourself what you can do to bring a deeper satisfaction and joy to your life beyond the obvious pursuit of material satisfaction and/or physical enjoyment. You are seeking deeper meaning to life and focusing in on your personal truth. You want to escape from the rat race and pursue deeper, more spiritual goals at this time. You are willing to let go of your material possessions in favor of something more meaningful. Thus, the Eight of Cups is often reflective of the start of a journey of discovery, particularly on a spiritual level. You are disappointed enough to walk away from everything you have built up so far. It could indicate a disappointment in love or dissatisfaction with material success. It could also indicate that you have overextended yourself to the point of emotional exhaustion. Even though you have already come so far, you feel that you can no longer go on and your only choice is to walk away from the situation. You feel disappointed with yourself, but you know that this is the right thing to do before you completely burn out. You may also be feeling that you are giving too much and not getting nearly enough in exchange. The fifth card for you is representing what is going against you. Your card is the Five of Pentacles. You are afraid of experiencing a major financial loss or job loss. If money becomes the primary motivating force in life and the gauge by which you judge your worth, the lack of it may produce anxiety and a sense of being excluded from the good things money can provide. For example, if you are unfortunate enough to encounter financial difficulties such as the loss of employment or an investment gone belly up, you may fall into the trap of losing faith in your ability to recreate a positive financial situation for yourself. Therefore, you should not only consider your actual financial circumstances but also your attitudes toward money. What fears do you have around money and wealth? Are you anxious about never having enough, or do you have faith in your ability to manifest what you need to live a prosperous, fulfilled life no matter what your circumstances? Often wealth is based as much on your psychological state as your actual financial state. You may find new sources of income, a new job, or someone has offered to help you out while you get back on your feet. You may be starting to feel as if life is worth living again and starting to regain your self-confidence. Finally, you can see a way out of your financial difficulties and your hope is being renewed. The Five of Pentacles can sometimes indicate the persistence of inner, spiritual poverty. It reflects a time when you feel isolated and alone, even if surrounded by many people. You may feel as though something is just completely out of place and you are struggling to place your finger on what it is. Return to the Four of Pentacles and you may come to realize that you have placed too much emphasis on your material wealth and have neglected your spiritual well-being. The last card for you is representing the likely outcome that you may have. Your card is the Five of Swords. You are engaging in conflict or finding yourself disagreeing with others, leading to tension and hostility. Despite thinking you have won, you may still end up the loser because you have hurt or annoyed others and have subsequently isolated yourself. You try to pick up the pieces and act as if the conflict is now in the past, but others have now lost faith in you and do not want to be around you. This might be one of those times when it feels like everyone is against you and you may lose some friends along the way. You will need to make a decision about whether your point of view is so important to you that it is okay to put your relationship with others in jeopardy, or whether you can compromise and try to see eye to eye with others. If you have been aggressive in your struggles, then you will soon accomplish your objectives. However, if you have been passive, you may need to compromise on your personal interests, giving in to the wishes of the opposing force. You will feel that there are more obstacles ahead, and you will not want to face the ordeal you know you must if you are to have what you want or the way you want it. Overall, you are in for a struggle and there is more work or problems ahead than you are aware of now. Things will not go as well as they should, and you will have conflicts or clashes of will with others. Thus, the Five of Swords is a card representing ambition but in the negative sense. Too much ambition without regard to the consequences to yourself or others results ultimately in a situation of loss for everyone. You may be represented either by the callous winner or the dejected losers. In any case, there is a negative connotation. If your focus is solely on winning your goals at any cost, you will eventually discover to your own dismay that the price of winning may not have been worth the reward. Arrogance and pride often go hand in hand with a difficult triumph such as this, and you must be careful not to think you are invincible. You have overcome a challenge, and you have the right to feel proud, but know that there will be other rivals to face and that some of them will eventually defeat you. Boasting to others that you are invincible is an invitation for someone to prove you wrong. If your victory was won through cheating or unethical conduct, Beware of an attempt at vengeance. The Five of Swords can relate to a betrayal or sneak attack by someone you trust and do not suspect as your enemy. There may be an unfaithful partner or a jealous person in your life who is sabotaging you behind your back. Look to other court cards in the reading to understand who may be working against you. You must be very careful whom you trust at this point in time because you are vulnerable to attack and gossip. The advice of the Five of Swords is to pick your battles. You may be tempted to fight every conflict to ensure you get your way, to prove that you are right, or to defend yourself when you are feeling challenged or threatened by another person. However, most experts agree, choosing your battles wisely is a much better way of life than battling out every disagreement. Not only will picking your battles lead to a more peaceful existence, it is also more likely to strengthen your interpersonal relationships. Last but not least, the guidance card for you is the Death. This marker portends a time of transformation, a total change of attitude, the death of the old. Regardless of how death presents itself, it is a necessary aspect of all things. Always remember the phoenix that rises up out of its own ashes to soar in the wind, renewed, filled with life. Death is the winter of things, part of the cycle of life. When you received this marker, you are reminded that all things have their season. Take courage, for in surrendering to death, in time you will be blessed with extraordinary new life. Rejoice, for that which dies fertilizes and fortifies the new. Endings always point to fresh beginnings.
I hope that you enjoy everything, and if you like the reading, just please click subscribe and you will get instant notifications every time we publish a new video right to your YouTube. Thanks.